Oh, big whiff!
And the punish comes.
Yeah, that recovery is rough.
Oh, beautiful
clean.
anti-air into nothing.
It's nothing true, that's the problem.
Right, it's happened multiple times.
Could have been a teleport, but Kitana Prime, he has that fatal blow though. Any hit into fatal blow is going to kill.
Oh, and so the defense comes. Oh, he did it! He did the fatal blow!
I can't believe
He did the
my
fatal
eyes.
blow. On wake up, fatal blow.
Hey guys, just before we go into the interview, I wanted to let you know that I got 10 interviews from Combo Breaker, which I'll be premiering at 12 PM Eastern Time every day on my Twitch channel, BornFree Twitch. Ideally, unless I'm running late. Keep an eye on my Twitter, BornFree Tweets. If you haven't seen this video, I'm doing a 6-week experiment with content, which could be the beginning of something special, or it just could be the end of my general production with FGC content. Either way, it's fine. I just don't like being in limbo. Much like I love the FGC, we all know how it is. If you want me to be that FGC guy who, for instance, interviews one person, you know, every weekday, for instance, on Skype or what have you, I will let you know at the end of the video how to lend me your support more directly. In the meantime, enjoy this video. If you like it, give it a like, because it helps with the trending. Alright, what's up guys? It's BornFree here. Welcome back to my channel. We are at Combo Breaker 2019, day 1, first interview, Kitana Prime.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm here early, you know, come to help out, do some work behind the scenes, obviously, here. And just community stuff, man. Setup, it's very important, man. The historical numbers here at Combo Breaker. And I just want to do my piece to help, you know, just be another cog in the machine to make sure things run as efficiently as possible, because this is the one that can't mess this up.
Yeah, a lot of people involved. Rick was talking to me about it yesterday. But talking of cog in the machine, which type of cog are you? We're going straight into the meaty questions here, people. Are you a spectator? Sorry, spectator. Are you everyone's a spectator. Are you a commentator or a player or both?
Definitely all of that and then more. The organizational part, even though I don't run things from the top down, I've certainly held my fair share of TOing. Just doing basically, like, I am the everything man. You say I need something done, you call me, I'll get it done. As far as playing and commentating specifically, I'm definitely a better commentator than I am a player. That's just not even a question right now. But I'm not washed up enough to where I can't compete. So I still play, and competing is my favorite thing. So it's so rough. You know, I get this question a lot, and the answer is different depending on the event. So right now, with Mortal Kombat 11 just coming out, and this is an 800-man tournament. It's the second largest tournament in NRS history. Titles, competing is definitely at the top, especially since I'm not doing commentary here.
Oh, competing is at the top. All right. Okay, so we'll talk about training in a bit, because I definitely want to ask about that. But let's talk about something that's been happening more recently. You just came off the back of Summit at a time where you did compete. How was that experience in general? How did it differ from other experiences you've had?
Summit was amazing. It was like nothing I've ever been a part of. It's hard to compare it to traditional events, but I can definitely say it's the best thing I've ever been to. Probably free. I used it as a learning experience, like going into it. Like, I didn't like how I was playing the game. I hadn't quite got it yet, but because the people rock with me so much, you know, they voted me in. So, of course, I'm going to take advantage of that opportunity. And the hospitality was weird. They kept feeding us, man. So, like, I know I look skinny on camera, but a little something extra down here because of them. And it was just amazing. It was all free form, playing Mafia, getting to flow between playing and commentary as well, because they encourage, you know, the invited players to jump on the mic. This is nothing to me. It's second nature, because this is what I actually do. So for MK11, there's a lot of new eyes, and a lot of these new players and stuff don't know I do commentary. So, like, it's just a matter of, like, keeping myself fresh and keeping myself going forward, no matter the situation. And Summit was a perfect opportunity to that. So thank y'all again for getting me in there. And I hope y'all had as much fun as I did performing as you did watching.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. I see the food on camera, and I'm always like, don't eat it, don't eat it, don't eat it, because you will lose your next match. Because, because like, you know, they say like what is it? Stay hungry to play hungry.
Okay.
You never heard? You never heard that?
I've never heard that. I've never heard that.
Okay, so most people, I believe it's because the blood rushes to your stomach. Most people can play way better when they're not full of food, right? So if you eat a big meal, you kind of feel sleepy, like you know, whatever. So they often say don't eat. Like they say stay hungry to play hungry. So Taquito will eat like little, you know, he has a little bunch of peanuts every now and then throughout the day, that kind of thing, right? Other people, maybe it doesn't affect so much. I have no idea. If you've never felt it, then you never felt it.
I'm usually just tired anyway from all the running around and competing and helping out. So I don't know the difference. Maybe I'll try it because Tokido's definitely the benchmark of like personal fitness and competing. Like, stop.
Your boy Sonic, right? So in the Dragon Ball, I forgot what it was called. Sonic Power.
Power, yes.
Yeah, they actually stopped Hook Gang God from everybody there. You know, because Sonic is like a monster, right? So you like everybody wants to see him get beat, right? So like everybody there stopped Hook from eating because he was going to eat the pizza because the pizza arrived right just before the finals, and they were like, "No, you're not eating."
That's crazy. I didn't know about this story. I like it though. It's smart. Maybe we should do that. Maybe I'll just stop him from eating or kidnap him or something and make sure he doesn't show up and you just lose by DQ. There's always that, right?
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Actually, one of the questions that I don't have on here, I didn't tell you about because I forgot. One of my friends wanted me to ask you about your relationship with Sonic because it seems pretty close. Yeah. Do you guys train and stuff? Like, how is it? Did you come up together through NRS? Did you know each other before? Like, what's the deal with that?
So, me naturally, I have like this big brother complex. You know, this dad complex. I'm the oldest of 8 kids.
No way. Are you serious?
8 kids.
I can't even imagine what that experience is.
And the fathers weren't necessarily there. Like I had to learn how to be a man on my own, whatever. So I have this big like nurturing, you know, type attitude. So I met Sonic Fox actually at my first tournament that I traveled for out of state, which was Winter Brawl 2013. And here he is, little 13, 14-year-old kid who hadn't quite found himself yet. Yeah. He wasn't winning and all of that. Yeah. But, you know, he has a couple older brothers. Quiggle, we know him. He was just God in DOA. He would show up, win DOA, and then kind of just do his thing. Now, FGC's definitely, like, been a safe environment for kids. I've never heard an issue or nothing like that. But me, I'm like, yo, I see this 13-year-old, like, who's watching him. You know, I don't understand. And naturally, I just gravitated towards him. And just kind of looked over him that whole weekend, and he stayed by my side. And he didn't know me. I didn't know him. However, that day we did money match. It was Mortal Kombat 9. He beat me 5-3, teabagged me, and took my $5. I never forget that. He was like 14. I'm like, oh, word, 6. So this is what fighting game players are. It's awesome. Then the next tournament, same thing. We had them together, and I just ended up looking over him all the time. It was like, hey, you walk me to my hotel on this night? All right, cool. Hey, you know, I don't want to go here by myself. Will you come with me? And it's like, oh, Sonic, I'm leaving. Let's go. It became more of a like, this is my little brother type thing to the point where his actual brother would see us and be like, all right, cool, you got it. Like, and this is long before the best in the world stuff. We didn't know any of this was going to happen. It just did. And like, it just never changed. Like we are that close for sure. I don't necessarily train with him. Obviously, that would be better if I did. But my relationship with Sonic is just something that far succeeds like video games. Like it's real life stuff. Like I will do anything for that kid, and he knows it. So yeah. Good
to know. I'm tempted to ask you a lot of questions about him, but this is your interview. I want to ask about you. Now, there was some controversies with the summit at time. Like it started off with a tweet, which was like worded badly, but I understood the sentiment, which was kind of like, I hope the NRS community is sort of the main focus of the summit at time. And then my understanding is it sort of escalated more and more. I don't have all the details on that one. What are your thoughts on all of that? Like the original tweet, the original intent, the execution of it, the follow-up?
All right, so this is always a hard area because Summit or like any other production big time in fighting games nowadays, like there's an esports feel, and to esports you need the engagement, you need the entertainment value. So when you bring in somebody like a Chris G, like I get it, like he should definitely Like, I had no problems with that. Tweety was more on like the focus on the scene. And then you get into those blurred lines of like who's deserving. I think he felt like if you're going to invite 10 people and you start looking at a combination of things, right? Predominantly results. He's somebody who should definitely be considered, being one of the better players in past times. Now, however, it also depends how you look at that, because his reign in the past few years, like, he's been mopping, but that was injustice. This is Mortal Kombat. And we know that the studio, like NRS, tries to separate the franchises, but the community looks at itself as just one, just like NRS, so you throw all the Injustice and Mortal Kombat in the mix together. And it's crazy. As things escalated and he got in, when he came at me, he thought like there was like a conspiracy behind scenes to like keep him out, and that I was a part of it. And I wasn't. And we talked. The only reason I responded publicly is because, again, there's a lot of new faces, and this is people, your first look at me is what you're hearing, and I just simply couldn't have that. So we did that. A lot of back and forth. People get tight when opportunities come and they feel like they worked so hard. So I definitely understand him, because I've been putting in the work too. So when you feel like something's being taken away from you, yeah, I get it. He could have worded some of his stuff better, but like, it's all good. Like, we talked. Actually, on the last day of Summit, when everybody's like leaving and stuff and getting ready, and I like put my hand down, he was like, "No, bro, give me a hug." So yeah, like, that definitely happened. And like, it's okay. He's still young. 22, 23.
Yeah.
That's still, baby. And we're traveling the world to play video games. At the end of the day, one opportunity at a time, and just some maturity, here and there. He has very strong opinions, but usually his head's in the right place. He just needs some advising. Other than that, that's how I feel, and he knows that because I've told him on multiple occasions.
Right.
But other than that, like, yeah, like, I get it, but where do you draw the line between deserve?
Right.
I think that leads into an entirely different conversation. But I understand where he's coming from. But I also understand why you would bring in a Chris or Justin Wong or somebody like that. Like, the visibility is just too much. Like, why? It's rough, man. It's rough. That's all I can say.
Exactly. I mean, we could talk about that forever. But like, the idea of deserve, you also, in fighting games, you have people who've been around for 20 years. So you've got people who, like, when the Tweedies of this world, I'm not picking on Tweedy, but like, people of that age were being born, the Justin Wongs were playing the hell out of MK1, 2, 3, like in the arcade. So yeah, it's an interesting one. But I understood where he was coming from. It was just badly worded.
he just saw red, man. He's a guy who's had his back against the wall a lot. Whether or not he brings it on himself, like, people will talk however they want to. I just talk to the man directly. Yeah. But like, you understand that, man, because there's huge opportunities nowadays, and for somebody of that skill level and caliber, that's a lot of money that's on the table if he doesn't get those opportunities. So he speaks up. That's what he does.
Yeah. Well, at some point maybe I'll get a chance to interview him. I think I'll get an opportunity to interview a lot of MK11 players this year, sure. Hopefully.
Not going anywhere.
Let's get another controversy out the way, or controversy, depending on which country you come from and how you want to pronounce it.
This is your interview. You can use the Queen's English. It's okay.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I've been in America for 13 years now. A lot of words I forget which ones where,
It's the mix-up.
Play
too many fighting games.
And there's some that I remember. Like, I'm never going to say tomato, but like, I just said it, but there you go. Kitana, right? So you're a Kitana main, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But big controversy over the female characters. Not big controversy, but it's like, it's pretty loud. Like, pretty loud people pushing back on, oh my God, this character has always been kind of sexy and always worn like these sexy outfits and all that sort of stuff, and now that she's completely different, and she's not as sexy, and she's wearing an unrevealing outfit and all this sort of stuff. Like, how do you feel about all that?
Yeah, I couldn't care less. I think Kitana looks amazing in this game. I don't know what people want. Jade's ridiculous. Like Scarlet. I don't understand it. Maybe because I'm an older guy and just unbothered by any of that. Like, I play the game to play the game. When they revealed her again, Kitana, I think she looks amazing. So I don't know what to tell these people. Yeah, like it definitely, like it never mattered. Just like I saw the characters and I was like, all right, cool, sick. Like, how's the gameplay? Like, who cares? Like, she's Kitana. You love the character. You love the character. The end. That's kind of how it works. Yeah, I couldn't care less about that.
They're probably going to drop those DLC costumes at some point. Yeah, like, this time they'll just be like $100 a costume or something.
Would be free money. It would still be free money. You know, I don't care, but I'm also not idiotic. That would be free money. Yeah,
that would be amazing. Imagine that was their plan all along, just to get some free publicity, and then they like drop the costume.
It would be the first time, you know, any company is pull something like that. It's totally
then we see
possible.
Then we see put their money where their mouth is. You know,
they certainly would.
Yeah, well, I think they probably would. All right, so let's talk about NRS games in general. Why do you gravitate towards? I say that. I don't know that. I feel that though. I feel like you're most well known for NRS games. If it seems like you gravitate towards NRS games, why?
All right, so believe it or not, it was just purely by chance when Street Fighter 4 dropped. All right, and I didn't get it immediately, but I ended up watching. For whatever reason, I think I was on like IGN or something like that all the way back. And they were running a story on EVO was coming up. And they were replaying the grand final of Justin Wong versus Daigo the second time. And I saw this for the first time and I was like, well, damn, like, okay. I remember playing all of these games growing up, like fighting games, right? I played Street Fighter, but I played every Mortal Kombat just because I liked it. And I did the worst thing I could do. I read the YouTube comments, right? And like, oh my God, these guys are just spamming because it was a Ryu mirror. Oh, they're just throwing fireballs. My cousin can beat them. And me, because I'm a smarter man, I said, well, what is it about the way that these two throw fireballs that allows them to beat everybody else? So I watched that video like 30, 40 times, and I still couldn't understand it. Like, I didn't get neutral, I didn't get footsies, you know, I didn't. But I bought the game, and as a pure beginner, to like competitive fighting games, I didn't know about shortcuts. I don't know about OSs, frame data, none of that, right? I chose the worst first character you could choose in Street Fighter 4, and that was Viper. Brand new beginner. Yeah. I don't know anything. Yeah. I just couldn't. It was too difficult. I didn't know shortcuts. I would go to the trial modes, and I really thought that like Latif was actually doing, you know, the super jump cancels. I thought he was just doing the whole motions like every. I didn't know about short. I'm like, yo, these guys are absolute gods. Yeah. How does Shen do all of this? How does Daigo make this work? Like, I can't. It's too much. So I said, damn. I remember growing up, I played every Mortal Kombat game. I wonder if they have tournaments for these games too. So I type it in, and then I see Power Up 2011, and it was a Perfect Legend versus Tom Brady, and I watched that. Wow. Yeah, it was on Spooky's channel. And I watched that, and I saw combos I never saw. I saw movement, all these dash cancels, and I'm like, there's no way that this is how you actually play the game. And I already had it, so I'm like, okay, let me search up tournaments. It was June. CEO was the next tournament. I live in Florida, and I went and I signed up for MK, and that was that. That's it.
How'd you get on?
How did I get on?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, they had a website, testyourmight.com, was like the general forum back then. It still kind of is, but I haven't been to the forums in years. And I posted in a defunct like Atlantic South regional thread that like nobody was in, but I had no choice. This was the day before the tournament because my friend who I was supposed to ride up with, he had car issues, and he was like, yo, I can't go. And I'm like, damn, well, I can't get my money back. I don't want to miss this. I signed up. A guy named Isaac from Tampa, and I'm in South Florida. I was in Miami at the time. He hit me up and he goes, where are you from? I said, from Miami. He said, okay, this person is close to you. And after shuffling from a few people, I run into Newbie, who was like Miami's best player, old Marvel 2 guy who was playing Mortal Kombat. And I just messaged him on Facebook, like, yo, I don't know you, but like I heard about this. Isaac sent me to Joshua. Joshua sent me to Jose. Jose sent me to you. Apparently I'm the closest to you. You know, he was like, well, cool. If you can, meet me here, and then we'll ride up together, just like that. He had no idea who I was, nothing.
Oh,
but
wow.
I was only looking for one other person like me because my friends back home, they play fighting games, it was casual. But like in like a week, they don't want to play you anymore because you're too good. You know how that goes. And yeah, I rolled up with him the day of CEO 2012, and then I got ninth. losing to him twice.
You got knifed.
Crazy. Yeah. And I lost to him twice. The man I met that day. And I got double eliminated. It's just so much. There's just so many extra details. But yeah, I met Newbie that day. I drove up with him. Ended up having to fight him in the second round of the tournament. Lost. Ran through losers. Cooked everybody. And the match before top 8, I had to play him again. And
that's wild.
Yeah, and he beat me again. And that was it. I met everybody from Florida that weekend. I met fellow Kitana players that weekend. And I was addicted. Like, it was like I could not wait to go to like the next event.
Okay.
And then that next event was Winter Brawl 2013, and that's when I met Sonic. It's just it
was meant to be.
It was.
It was meant to be. Gotcha. All right, let's talk about Kitana. Like, you are known as Kitana Prime. I understand you're a character loyalist and you only play Kitana in Mortal Kombat. So I guess I have two questions. One is Kitana Prime. I kind of get why you might call yourself Kitana, but like, why are you called Kitana Prime?
Okay, so before
and then like, why are you a loyalist? I guess.
All right, so I'm definitely about to get blown up when this interview comes out, because they will know that I'm not a loyalist anymore.
Oh, you're not?
Yeah,
okay.
Times have changed, and Pro Tours, and characters and this and that, but we'll get into that. The reason for the Prime is that when I came into the game at that CEO, I didn't have a name for myself yet. I was still using I don't know if you remember, but when you first sign up for Xbox Live, right, and they give you a gamer tag, they just put 2 random words together, and then they let you change it for free, so you get whatever you want. I never changed it, and it's so bad. I don't think I've ever said this on camera. So the original name that I had, my gamer tag, was Phantom Stars.
Phantom Stars.
It's so ugly. And I just put the 21 on there. I don't know why. I can't explain it. Forever King knows. He remembers me. Disgusting. So when I was going to CEO 2012 and I was signing up and it said gamer tag, I knew I couldn't just roll up in there and be named like, there's just no way. I'm like, no, I'm not. No. So I had recently seen like Transformers movies, and I'm a fan. Yeah. And I knew that over the time I wanted to be recognized as one of the better Kitana players in the world, but I didn't need to be the best. So what better way than use Prime, because the Primes are a race. Optimus is like God, but he wasn't the only one. Right. So you can be recognized as a great, but you don't necessarily have to be the greatest. Yeah. So some people take it that way anyway. I don't need it. My ego doesn't need that, but I did want to be recognized as one of the best. And I think I got there like early MKX. I was definitely one of the best Katanas in the world for sure. But now in 11, like, I play her because like, I'll always play her, but I main Jade. Adenia forever. Yes, Adenia forever. And it's fine. Kitana has no problems with her best friend getting some shine. So all y'all who hating and, change your name. No, all right? I'm going to be named what I want to be named. And it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Gotcha. All right, we'll get a little bit more into characters in the game and specifics and all that sort of stuff. I want to talk about your commentary a little bit more. Do you, now that at some point you decided I'm going to take this more seriously? Yes. When you did that, do you think a lot about your commentary? Like, do you play it back? Do you listen to yourself? Do you say to yourself, I need to do more of this and less of this? Do you have a particular style where you're like, okay, this is the Kitana Prime style and I need to build on that? Like, how do you go about thinking about commentary?
So I don't listen back as much. As soon as a block finishes, I know immediately whether if it was good, what I felt bad, what I did wrong, what to clean up. Like I know. I don't necessarily have a KP style because I pride myself on versatility, and I love to be able to do it all. If you need analytics, if you need that hype man, if you need somebody to just alley-oop and help your co-caster. See, my thing is when I sit down in like the first minute and a half, I analyze the person I'm doing commentary with. And in my head, I go, okay, this is where they excel the most. I'm going to let them do that, and I'll pick up the rest. To never jump over anybody. And this is why like it seems like my synergy is so like high with everyone, is because I'm adjusting. Like, I like to keep the mantra in my head, don't have any bad matchups on the mic, right? So you can sit me down with yipes, which rarely happens, but when it does, stop. And then you can turn around and sit me with a James Chen or Say Jam or, you know, whoever. Like, you can sit, or Hell Pockets. Like, you can sit me with whoever, even people who I haven't even had conversations with. And in that minute and a half, I'll get it. And then my job is to take them, make them shine, and then do whatever else I can to stay right there. Because as commentators, we control the narrative. Only a commentator can take a terrible match or a terrible set and make it enjoyable. But they also can take an amazing set and make it trash. So there's so much responsibility to where that everything I say, every second I'm on the mic, I'm like hyper analyzing. And it's just, I don't know. Like, I have a really good feel for it. And I used last year to like expand. You know, I'm doing Dragon Ball, Soul Calibur, everything, because I needed to prove that to myself and to people that it wasn't just, oh well, like you can only do this. No, like I'm commentary, like I'm here for that. Like I'm here the same way anybody takes competing like super. You know, you want to be the best, you want to win. That's how I feel about commentary, and I want to continue to try to be insightful, informative, and entertaining. Because once you become that typical drone, then you can only do so much. Sure. And I love to be able to get in and fit in anywhere. So that's my goal. That's how I approach it.
Got it. Now, talk of games. So MK11, obviously, it's funny, you know, I had some notes from last time we were supposed to do an interview, which was at SCR. Yeah, too busy. And in my note, that's right, you did Tekken.
Yeah, they called me to do. Yeah. I'm about to do an interview with you, and Alex Valle hits my phone at like 7:30 in the morning, and he's like, "Yo, KP, are you up?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm up. What's up?" He's like, "Are you free?" I said, "What's good?" He said, "I need somebody to do Tekken. Can you do it?" I was like, "Bro, I can't do Tekken. Like, I'll watch it, but I don't know enough." I said, "Who's with me?" He said, "Mark, man." I said, "All right, he knows everything. Let's do it." Yeah. And then the Tekken community was super receptive. They was like, "Yo, more KP, please." And I'm like, "Y'all, chill. And thank y'all so much, but like, I'm not ready. All right, I'm not ready." But we did it. So.
Yeah, you certainly did. But actually, what I had noted down was to ask you if you were disappointed there was no MK11 announcement, because it was a little bit later this time round than it normally is. Which games are you sort of focused on overall? Because I think you said Soul Calibur 6 is something you love. Like, which games right now are you mainly focused on?
Mortal Kombat 11 obviously is like far and away number one, and then Soul Calibur 6 is clear number two. I've done commentary for that game at every event I've attended since its release. I really hope they end up getting a pro tour. I would love to do an international event, but I'm not there yet. I don't think any of these events are gonna be like, "Yo, come to Singapore, KP, we got you," or come to France. We're gonna work to get there though. As far as getting called for commentary at that level, but. Yeah, MK11, Soul Calibur 6, but I watch everything, almost everything. I watch, obviously I watch all CBT events, watch all Tekken World Tour events. I've been watching a lot of Eunice lately, just trying to see what's good. Like, I'm just purely a spectator. I don't know too much. I like watching BB Tag because it's just so volatile and destructive. It's like one of those games where people are just getting wrecked and they have to hold that. And because you don't play it, you can just laugh at their misery. It's like watching Marvel. It's great. It's my favorite thing. So, and then Combo Breakers this weekend. So I'm Marvel 2 KI. Like, I hope I have enough time to like watch at least 2 or 3 top 8s where I'm not competing or running brackets or doing commentary. It's just, I'm a fan first. So while I focus on MK11 and Soul Calibur more than anything, I'm still a heavy spectator for the rest of the mainline titles.
I noticed you didn't really talk about Dragon Ball there. How do you, and nobody is. To be honest, it feels a bit like nobody is. Like, what's your feeling about where Dragon Ball's at the moment in regards to, I mean, I know they have DLC and they're pumping out DLC, but the esports kind of fell off. Like, how do you feel about that game right now?
I think it's just I don't know, because I don't know what goes on, at the BAMCO offices, but it seems like there's just like a lack of information. And, I mean, I wasn't necessarily called to because I do Dragon Ball commentary as well, but I haven't done a Dragon Ball event in so long. The issue with that being last year, the World Tour, once it went international, that was it. France, Singapore, Australia. So I wasn't able to get to those events. The finals came and went, fantastic finals. And then just a lot of radio silence. So I just keep my ear to the streets. And then, you know, I'm on PG. So my teammate Nakio, he's when he goes and like starts revving up everything for Dragon Ball, you'll see me. So right now I'm just focusing on, because, you know, Mortal Kombat Pro Tour happening right now. Soul Calibur is just like the game I just adore. It's like my little love interest. But Dragon Ball just seems to be in that, like, I don't know if they're trying to figure it out, because the people who play it still love the game. But again, when my people start going, when Nakio, Sonic, and all them start like really focusing on Dragon Ball, that's when you'll see me back over there.
What do you think of the NRS model? Because like they're definitely pushing their esports. So this year there's a $250,000 prize pool for the Mortal Kombat tournament. I don't actually know the name of the tour, but you know, every year there seems to be like there's an Injustice game and there's a Mortal Kombat game, right? Do you ever wish like one of those games would stick around for like 5-6 years and like people would really start to unearth even more? Or do you feel like the life cycle of them should be a year? Like what's the deal? How do you feel about that?
I really hope that MK11 is the one that breaks the cycle. I've never felt so comfortable and so up on a game at release from them than I do with this one. It's super solid. It just rewards, like, there's the least amount of craziness in any title while still being universally challenged. I understand it, because first and foremost, like, Warner Brothers is here to make money. You know, it is what it is. And the games do amazingly well. But on the competitive side, I would love nothing more than MK11 to be the one to stick around. Now that we're probably heading closer and closer towards the console generation skip, you know, whatever the next gen.
True.
So I think it would be imperative to keep playing MK11, because not everyone's going to shift over, you know, be early adopters to the new system. So let's say if the next game came out in 2 years, right, and the cycle continues, I would assume we'd be seeing PS5, you know, whatever the next version or whatever Microsoft does, and you know, and I don't see why they wouldn't go for the new system. But in the FGC, like, no TO is going to go buy, you know, 20 PS5s, like, immediately, or unless Sony's going to look out, which probably won't happen. So I think we should keep playing MK11 throughout the next generation Switch, and then maybe 2 years into that, give us the next title. But I don't know. I don't work at the company. I don't know what NRS is cooking up. Maybe they can give us Shaolin Monks, you know, and we can play that, but MK11 as well, and keep the mainline fighting series alive, because we all love MK more than anything. So I just hope this is the one.
Yeah. Why fighters? Like, I mean, you said you were sort of like drawn to a YouTube video, and then you were sort of try Street Fighter, and then you moved on to NRS. But like, why not play, I don't know, Call of Duty, or, you know, League of Legends, or whatever? Or do you play those games?
Well, I don't. I've been like a console peasant my whole life. I mean, I got a gaming PC now, but like, that just happened. And RPGs are actually my favorite, like, genre of video games, and there's no competition there. I just play it because I love huge stories, engrossing character, you know, worlds, all of that. But I'm definitely a competitor. I got burnt out on sports titles because I grew up playing basketball, football my whole life. So I played every Madden, every NBA Live, every NBA 2K, all that. Like, I got tired of it. And as far as shooters are concerned, the thing about fighters and what makes them special is that you're in it on your own.
Yeah.
You can't lose a match because your teammate was playing bad, or somebody's throwing the game, or, you know, you just don't have that synergy, even if it's a bunch of great players. Fighting games, all the decisions are based on you, and they're more of a cerebral play. Not to say other games don't require thought. They definitely do. Every title takes, like, supreme mental capacity at the highest level. But with fighting games, it's like playing chess, except you have to move like every half a second, you know, and you have to be ahead and understand player tendencies, because even though the characters are limited to what they can do, a human is not. So there's always so much. Like, when I watch Daigo, you know, walk across an entire stage and then just throw somebody, and they let that happen. That is a level of something up here that's just, you can't get that in any other competitive title. It's just not 1v1. There's just no way. When you do the same move 8 times in a row and it keeps hitting because you're so deep in someone's head that they're just shook, like, that is so satisfying, and that can happen on a round-to-round, match-to-match basis. So fighting games are that quick jolt, and you can grind them too. Each game is, however, a couple minutes. You can just keep going, jump in, jump out whenever you want to, wherever you want to. And I just love the accessibility, the mind games, and the, you really have to be disciplined to compete at the highest level. And I love that part of competition the most.
That's actually one of the best answers I've ever had on that question. So I like it a lot because actually your buddy Sonic, when he won Esports Player of the Year,
I cried in my living room.
You did?
I did.
You did?
I did.
It was a good. It was a great moment.
just
Obviously,
felt,
I mean, you've seen it from the beginning. The 13-year-old kid, right, who teabagged you or whatever. But but he got that. There was that tweet from that guy Simple who played Counter Strike, and Sonic actually handled it pretty well because he didn't seem to get. He wasn't bothered. He didn't seem that bothered.
Fighting games, man.
But you explained your answer there encapsulated probably what the answer should have been if somebody had been able to wrap it up and send it to Simple.
Yeah, well,
and
remember,
I know Ryan Hart later explained it to
that's
him,
what I was gonna say.
Some of the psychology behind it, but yeah.
Yeah, because that's a huge general misconception. People who come from other titles think that fighting game players are actually just mashing. Like that couldn't be further from the truth, and so true at the same time. But it's they really don't understand the depth. And to be good in fighting games, you have to lose. And these other games, people don't take losing lightly. You have to have a level of resolve that allows you to take those ass whoopings and learn from them. Otherwise, you just don't succeed ever. And I can't speak for other titles, but I know people just like to win. And if you lose, fighting games are the only games where you sit down and play a set, you lose 30 games in a row and be like, all right, I just got better. I'm learning. Any other place you can get discouraged so quickly. Imagine doing scrims and you lose 30 shooting game rounds in a row. You'd be like, yo, I'm trash. I don't want to play this game. On to the next. When fighting games, okay, well, in this 30 matches, at least I didn't let them jump on me anymore. Okay, now in this next 30, I'm going to learn I'm going to work on my counter. There's just so much that goes into it. And it's a forever evolving psychology because people adapt, new tech gets discovered, and then you get deep talking about OSs and super high execution barriers. There's just so much in fighting games that you take any game, they still find tech for games that came out in the 90s. So it's insane.
I was just thinking about Gerald's video because what you said was similar to Gerald's video, because you talking about mashing and stuff. And I think Gerald's latest video, Core Gaming, his latest video is genius because particularly the title, which is why mashing doesn't work. Because in a fighting game, generally, if you don't play fighting games, you assume it's the same as real life. So you assume that the faster I press this, the faster my punch will be. So you're going there. It's true though, right? It's the faster I do this, the faster, in a real life, if you can have a fight, it's the faster. And he explained that really well. And I was like, this video is so good because that's so true. You play, if you're having a fight, it's if I do this faster, then in real life, then that's going to work. So but it doesn't work like that in fighting games. So
it does not.
It's pretty dope. Let's talk about MK11 as it is right now. I saw various people have given, I haven't seen yours, but I've seen various people have given their perspective on where the game's at. Most people seem extremely happy.
Yes.
I think one of the comments at one stage was, probably from Sonic actually, was that the dashing was useless because it was slower than walking, but I don't know if that's still true.
No, that was at the beginning. They heard the cries and the suggestions from the community, and they ended up buffing everything by release.
Oh, they did.
Cool.
Yeah,
and they definitely took notes from the beta and the stress test, and they definitely made improvements. We're good now. We are good in terms of movement. My only things are At the top, it's a little crazy. Like Sonya's not playing MK11. She's still playing MKX, mixing and all these, the 50-50s and stuff they wanted to detract from. That don't really, if a character has a 50-50, like it's punishable, or like one of the options doesn't lead into much. Sonya's crazy. Like she's just, ugh. Then you have Aaron Black, who kind of does the same thing. Then you have Garrus, who's like one of the easier top tiers. I play him too. He's so fun. He's so privileged. I don't know what privilege feels like until I pick Garrus. Like my life has just changed. I just wish I could be born as Garrus because that's what he does. Now he has some issues here and there, but like the top is kind of like obvious. Like these are the best characters in the game. They're not like broken or anything, but we would just like them to play a little closer to the rules of everybody else.
Gotcha. All right, and then in terms of so that's character balance basically. In terms of like how the game has changed itself, in terms of its mechanics and the core gameplay, neutral, etc., etc., etc. Are you happy? I mean, you obviously are.
I mean, I'm glad it worked out because they went heavy on the innovation this time. No two NRS games play the same. The closest we got was Injustice 2 to Injustice 1. But it had like a whole bunch of like minor like updates. Like that was more like the quality of life boost. Whereas MK11 is nothing like MKX, and MKX is nothing like MK9. So with the whole putting the meter on a timer as universal for the entire cast is just how the game works. You have offensive bar, defensive bar. That was sick. The way the chip kills work now. If you have defensive meter available, on a hit that would kill you, instead of killing you, it'll take a hit of your defensive meter, like permanently for that round. So you get it right back, no big deal. And if you have both bars, then you can take an additional 2 hits. So, getting that last breath is cool. Separating the fatal blow, which is like the super or the ultra, it's its own, gauge now, which you have access to once you drop below 30% health. And it's a 1 time per match if it hits. And if it whiffs or is blocked, then it takes 10 seconds to come back in that round. Just so many different ways how flawless blocking, which is more akin to like Just Guards and other fighting games, but you can actually cancel that into a launcher or an invincible attack, just for a quick get off me. Like there's so many small, deep like meta things that we as a community, we haven't involved it so clean just yet because it's early. The game has only been out a month now. And again, this is why I hope this is the game that stays, because when people start, doing all these OSs and flawless blocking and the reads and, just delays and getting more familiar, like it's all of the changes have been good, proven to be good so far. It's still early because, things can shift, but with the game design, bringing things more simplistic and returning into a more neutral, heavy-based game was like perfect direction coming from MKX, which was just go, fight, 50-50, armor launcher. Like MKX was volatile, and it was hard for beginners to pick up too. Yeah, but with 11, you see people coming in from all different type of communities, and they're like good early. So it's gonna be great. I like the direction they take. I love accessibility. And they hit the nail on the head with this one.
Okay, do you have any advice for people coming in from other games? So a lot of people coming in from Street Fighter or, anime fighters or whatever. Like this is the hot shit right now. Yeah. It's got a block button, which is stands out. It's a big deal. Like, is there anything that, I know this is a super broad question. These are always hard questions to answer. But is there anything that you would recommend to people coming in to focus on?
Yeah. For one, don't get discouraged by what you see as traditional fighting game mentality. What I mean by that is there's a lot of disrespect on NRS. People jump on wake up. People mash out of frame traps like all the time because people are not used to like the highs. Because with highs and other games, most attacks are mid. Like if you're crouch blocking, like you're gonna hit them.
Yes.
But with highs,
miss, right?
Yeah, they'll miss if you're just ducking without blocking, and pokes go under that. So people are gonna poke up front. People are gonna jump on wake up. People are gonna disrespect your meaties. Like the risk reward is not as bad, so people are not gonna be afraid. That. 2, accept the block button. Like you have to get past that hurdle. If you can't, like you're done immediately. I know that's like the biggest change. If you can get past the block button, everything else is so easy to adjust to and absorb, because all the information is there. When you pause the game, we have all the frame data, you have your entire moves list, the tutorial's great. They have an advanced tutorial that goes pretty deep, like a ranking system. I'm pretty sure that's coming, and the online is great. So you can, anything you need in terms of accessibility or help, like, it's there. And people from other communities definitely doing good. Like, I definitely lost a rank match to Shine. Like, it was crazy. Like, that just happened, like, the other day. Like, oh, Shine NYC is like, oh, okay. My man's, he jumps on wake up 3 times in a row with Jackie, and I got hit for all of them. Like, people are fine. And I'd be surprised, man. I think a lot of people are going to do really good who are not expected to this weekend from other games. And
Shine ends up in all of my interviews. I don't know how he does that. He's such a funny guy.
He's too good.
Okay, well then let's talk about Jade real quick. Like, why Jade and not Kitana?
All right, so I used Injustice 2 to play different characters. Everyone knows me as a Harley Quinn main. The thing about me, I like annoying women. That's just what it is. Every fighting game. I used Injustice 2 to kind of break away from my loyalty. So instead of playing Harley out the gate, I played Wonder Woman, because I like strong women too. And it's like, okay, just to show myself, I can do this, get two characters at a relatively high level. So I wouldn't get caught in the loyalty bug in case the character was garbage. Now, Kitana's good. I think every character in the game is decent, at least, but she doesn't fit like the way I want to play MK11. She's not necessarily a zoner anymore. And she doesn't quite have the frames for to be like a pure rushdown. She likes this mid-screen stagger hybrid, and Jade is just super annoying and like heavy on zoning, and that's how I want to play this game. So when I was going through the cast, I played Jade in the beta. I didn't like her. I revisited her on release, and I was like, this is it. So I started playing Jade, and then Garrus is just like whatever, it's easy. I was streaming one day, and stream was like, yo, pick Garrus. And I was like, really? Dark Side? So I picked him. No practice time, and he just started winning because, it's Garrus.
I love the stream monsters because the stream monsters are going across from each stream, and they're like, oh, interesting. And then they bring it back to you.
Yeah, that's what they do. Or they'll come, and they'll be like, oh, my God, KP went to the Dark Side. What is this? Yeah. Play Kitana, please. And then I'll play her, on occasion. Because I still know how, but she's definitely the weakest of the characters of my characters. Like, my Kitana is just not good currently. She'll get there, but not right now, because it's early, the game came out and Combo Breaker's here already. I don't have time to diddle and boost that up. We just worked on what we have prepared for this weekend.
Current competition in regards to players in MK11, is everything free to Sonic? Is it going to be? I mean, we're on Thursday today, right? So nothing's happened.
Yeah.
Right? Is it free? Like, is it, because everyone's looking to Sonic to just win this weekend.
Nobody learns games faster and better than this kid. Free? I wouldn't say that. I think there's a small handful of people who could actually just outright beat him right now. But again, you only need to
give me some names.
Scar, obviously, because Scar just knows him as a player. I think on his best day, Dragon has a chance.
Now, where everyone at home who will see this after the event, so they'll know. So this is kind of interesting.
For sure. I know Sonic cooked them at some of the time, but it is what it is. There's 800 people, man. Everyone is here. I'm pulling heavy for my boy Gross, but I don't know, man. It's hard. Early game betting against Sonic is super impossible, but I don't think it'll be a repeat of MKX where he was just winning everything. I do think the sands will definitely shift. I expect him to win majors, obviously. Which is crazy, it's not.
I think people have got a better chance. There's definitely a point I feel with Sonic where people catch up, because he definitely is an early, I say early adopter is a term we used to use in advertising, but he's one of these guys who can pick up games real quick.
Yes.
Goichi's another one. Yes. And we saw
Goichi's playing too.
We saw, Goichi's playing too. Although I spoke to him and he said he hasn't played much of MK yet, so we'll see on that one. But he definitely picks up games quickly. But this game, you think that there's more people. This game feels bigger for some reason. It feels like, and then there's a huge tour behind it. So like, not to disrespect what's happened in the past, just when you put more money behind something, when a game gets so much, is applauded as being like this game that's got the types of fundamentals that were maybe missing in the past. You attract more players, and certainly the money's there. So
yeah, I think the talent pool is definitely bigger. Two players I definitely want to look at. It's so unfortunate because they're somehow in the same pool, but
they are.
Dizzy TT, young kid out of the UK. He just won Stunfest. He's ridiculous. Another young kid who can play 10 hours a day, and he's looking up to take that mantle as Europe's best. After beating Foxy, because Foxy's been the man in Europe for forever. Dizzy's like the protege who should be very well afraid of. And I think Kevo the Man, we haven't seen too much from him. I mean, he's playing some online circuits, but I think he's really good in this game. And I think whoever comes out of that pool and winners is going to make a really deep run.
All right. Well, we will see for sure. It's I think it's like the last event at Combo Breaker this year, so I'm super excited about that. All right. Favorite players. There's no point in doing that because we already know who your favorite player is.
Well, it doesn't have to be NRS.
All right, fine. But doesn't your favorite player play every single game there is?
Well, believe it or not, Sonic's only my favorite player in NRS and in Dragon Ball when he's fighting Goichi. Other than that,
okay.
I really like watching Jonah and BB Tag. He's one of my top 5 favorite players to watch. Period. In all the fighting games, Jonah's ridiculous.
Jonah is the only person I've ever interviewed in my house. He came to New York and he came to my house. And I interviewed in my house. He also translated for me at SCR. Yeah. He's a wonderful, wonderful guy.
That's why I met him. He walked up to me asking me about MK11. I had no idea who he was. It was great.
Really talented.
Yeah. Nakio is my favorite Dragon Ball player, believe it or not. Unless, Sonic's playing Goichi, then that's all out the window.
They live together, right?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
I love Liam in Skullgirls. He's definitely like, dude, I watch everything. John Ding and Tekken, outside of the obvious speed kicks. My teammates. Yeah. John Ding, that's my man's right there. And let me give you one more.
Wait, do you like him in Tekken or Street Fighter?
Tekken.
Because he's a Street Fighter player as well.
I don't care. Tekken, all right.
All right.
And let's see. Let's do another game.
Who's your favorite Soul Calibur player? Since that's your.
Oh well. Oh, man, you're gonna make me do this.
Because I'm not.
You're gonna make me do this. Zephyr is gonna kill me. Link Horse is my favorite player. Sorry, Zeph. I know I betrayed the Shunghua army. Link Horse is my favorite player. Punk's my favorite Street Fighter player, obviously. Yeah. But I like Tokido a lot.
Yeah.
And I still loved watching Infiltration too. So that'll be in time. But like every game, there's just people that like make me, all right, I need to watch this. And when they're on the screen, it's like, all right, I'm checked in now. Yeah. Stop everything. Let's make it happen. And believe it or not, since we just doing that, I'll just add game 2. Like Marvel 3 is my favorite game to watch all time. Period.
Oh, it
period.
Is.
Period.
Okay.
No, free.
I know.
Free.
People are into Marvel 3.
And it's like followed by Marvel 2. That's my second favorite game to watch of all time, man. That's what I like, man. That's what I like.
There's probably a lot of players you missed then.
Oh, no, for sure. I just, if I start saying Marvel 3 players, we'll be here all day.
Okay, well, let's not do that.
Yeah, let's not.
But yeah, the hype game for sure. I miss a lot of those players, Marvel 3 and Marvel 2. There's a whole bunch of players who sort of gone missing now. Yeah. And so let's see, maybe hopefully in the future there'll be a Capcom All Stars or something. I don't know. We'll see. Do you do much training, and is it organized, or is it more like you just get on when you get on?
So I definitely do more training for commentary, believe it or not. I'm a huge stream monster, so I'm always watching everybody when I'm at home. Watching, absorbing everything so my knowledge is on point, knowing who plays who's from where, what happened in this backyard tournament in like Montana that got streamed at like 3 a.m. on a Thursday morning. That's me. Lurking everywhere. I watch a lot of locals, a lot of weeklies, every game, and then I commentate to myself at home and try different things to fit this there and there. I go over intros. I listen to other people. So I spend the majority of my time at home working on commentary stuff because I'm definitely like it.
That's where you want to go.
That's
essentially
what I
where you
love the
wanna go.
most.
Yeah.
And well, that's what I'm the best at, I should say. And then when I'm training, it's like I recently started streaming, and like that's been going like amazingly well. Like
Good.
it's crazy. Like I can't believe like the amount of quick support and how much we've grown in just 2 months. But when I do that, that's more like entertaining the people. So I'm kind of like at their whim, playing ranked or showing off this or showing off that. So I need to personally take more time to lab, but I like playing sets. So like, I don't know. I need to find a better balance, but it's definitely more training in terms of commentary.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a difficult question.
Sure.
What's been the most difficult moment in your gaming or commentary career, and how did you overcome that? Like, often I ask players because, sometimes it's just something technical they want to overcome. Sometimes it's a mindset they want to overcome, a confidence thing they want to overcome. Some players take breaks, whatever. I don't know what the deal is with commentators in that regard. I'm sure commentators lose confidence every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's circumstantial. I know there was a period of time recently where there was not much going on in NRS. Yeah. Like, is there a moment which was very difficult for you?
Commentary wise, I'm just gonna I don't really have nothing to put there. But playing, I still haven't gotten over it yet. I'm one of, if not the biggest like choke artists like in the scene. So many times.
Oh, really?
So many important matches. So many top 16s. That I've been up 2-0 and then I lose, or I get my opponent down to 10% health, and then my mind just draws a blank and I can't close it out. I've been doing much better in MK11 with this, but until I see enough consistency in tournament, I'm not going to feel like I'm over it, because I choked away plenty of big stage opportunities throughout MKX and Injustice 2. And it's just like, oh, sick. KP did it again. It's like, oh, you lost 3-2? Peace. Oh, you lost 2-1? Oh, you were up the game and around. And yeah, so choking is my big thing, and still working at it.
You got any ideas of how to approach it? Have you talked to other players about it?
I have, man. They all tell me like they can see the moment when I start to doubt myself. Like, I check out mentally, really? And then I usually just get hit once or twice, and then die relatively quick in a sequence, because I put that mental block on myself, which is so weird to me, because in real life, like playing sports, like basketball, like I am Mr. Fourth Quarter. Like I am the closer. Like give me the ball. Let me handle this. But I can't translate it to fighting games. I tense up and I get too passive. And, if you sit and you try to block everything, eventually you'll get opened up. That's anybody, any game, unless you like Goichi. Even then, he'll get opened up eventually, just, much later than the rest of us. But I get passive, I curl up, and then I break.
Maybe you need to... This is crazy. But because you do sports, right? So, like, you're always moving. Like, your body's always pumping. There's something about esports. The main difference is you're sitting down, right? So maybe you gotta hit the character select screen and do 10 push-ups. Do the little run like Takedo does. Just get moving again. Because I know that movement's a trigger for me for a lot of things, which I won't go into. That's a whole other story. But like I figured that out through an acting class years ago. Someone maybe shadow box in the corner and then maybe come back to a scene. Really? And I was like all about it,
I've never heard the suggestion. I'm actually like super interested in this now.
Well, Takedo does his running up and down, doesn't he? Yeah, he keeps himself that blood pumping. So there's something going on. So and you told me like in physical sports you can close it out. Yeah. So maybe it's just like you're sitting there and it's your mind. Maybe you need to get some blood pumping around your body. I have no idea. At this point, like I definitely need to be like, I'm open to whatever. But that doesn't even seem far-fetched or like wild. It's pretty reasonable. But no one's ever
suggested anything like that. And I haven't
most
thought
people
of-
because people are embarrassed and they don't want to get up and they don't want to do
Oh,
stuff. But
bro,
like,
I
but
don't-
like, yeah, I know you don't give a shit, right?
don't
You don't give a shit. So maybe you could. Maybe if you feel the nerves in your body, maybe you need to shake them out a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. But if you do it and you end up winning, then
Oh, the BornFree for sure all
Yeah.
day. I'll walk into the camera to stream the
Yeah.
part, or you can hear me. I'm like, yo, BornFree, thank you. You know, and
yeah. Then I can move on from being an interviewer to being like a
sports psychologist.
yeah, exactly.
I like it.
Any characters from past Mortal Kombat that you want to see come back?
I don't mind with the way they've redesigned a bunch of the characters in 11 who we haven't seen for a while. The majority of them have been amazing, so I have no doubt that the team at NetherRealm could take like they can take like Kai, who like no one actually cares about, and make him cool. So like I have faith in them. Just not Melina. Just she can rot forever.
Oh, she's the one that everyone was like,
They still are. It never stops. Every day.
because of the leaks, right?
Yeah, like every day, everyone's screaming, give us Melina. And it's more of like, yeah, give it to him so they just shut up. No, just don't. Let them suffer. She beats Kitana in every game. Well, I'm not even playing Kitana that much, so I don't even care anymore. But I'm sure they can even make her look amazing. So honestly, it doesn't matter. They can bring back whoever. Bring back some of the 3D characters, give them a chance at redemption because a lot of them were whack and super lame. And this will be a good time to get them right.
Okay. What's the biggest sacrifice you've ever made for fighting games?
So I got to a point where it's like, hey, I can do this and do this only and be able to live off of it potentially.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, let me focus on all this, quit my job back home and, start working and things were good. Run into some roadblocks. So a few things is out of my power. Some things I can't really get into. But whether or not it was worth it, it has been so far. I don't know if I can say that same thing in 6 months.
It's a road not well trodden, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are feeling the same way, particularly as it's that esports thing. It's happening everywhere, but fighting games is poverty esports, so it hits even harder.
Yeah, it does. Definitely does. But, alongside with content and everything like that, like you can certainly make an avenue for yourself, but you have to have a level of consistency. And even with me, like just starting out streaming and everything, it's been going great, but like I still travel for tournaments and that hurts you. Like between, I'll just use just Twitch. I lost like 100 subs between the last 2 weeks for going to Summit. Right. And then I had like the charity event in Tampa for the Gamers on the Edge kids. And I just hadn't been able to stream at all. And it's like, damn, well, KP's not here. Well, I'm just going to go here, which is completely understandable. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not entitled to anybody's time or support, but you have to have that level of consistency. So I look at somebody like Zero in Smash who's like staying home. Like he was the best Smash 4 player in like life. No debate. Yeah. And in Ultimate, he's like barely went to anything because content has been his grind and he can do this full time. Been sponsored and stuff on top of it. He's definitely like, the 0.1%, but that model is definitely possible, but it takes everything. You have to really want this, really care about this, and the people have to want it too.
It's an interesting avenue because a lot of professional players can essentially sit at home and make more money than they can, riding around, going to tournaments and whatever else. And it's sort of like under their control as well. They're not like, with a team or with sponsors or it's just like their time, their place, and what have you. But that could be a whole massive other conversation. That's a podcast subject for somebody. Do you have like a quote or a mantra, something that you live by?
Oh yeah, well there's the two. There's the long before like the Marvel things. Like I have the line whatever it takes like tattooed on my forearm.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I come from like nothing. So and I've always had to work 10 times harder for everything I've ever earned, straight up. And like that's fine. It's just that's what my life was. So I had to take it. And then like the main thing is and this is the one I tweet it like all the time because I'm all about uplifting people. That's what I want. Forward, always. Like the second you start regressing on anything is when you welcome back the problems of the past or the trials of the past. Like you already you made it. If you're here now, whatever it is that happened, you made it. All right. So what are you gonna do about it? You can cry about it, or you can evolve. So forward, man. That's what we do. We move forward. We look past all the hate, all the clout chasing, all of the lies, the deceit, anything that people can try to do to bring you down. It'll happen. It's just human nature. But you gotta keep your head up and just keep going forward.
Clout chasing. That's another podcast subject that I want to talk about. So I'll make a note to myself. hey Mark, editing. Hi. note to self.
Too good.
General video games. JR, you said I think you said RPGs.
Yeah.
What are your favorites?
All right. So Final Fantasy 9. Yes, 9.
Okay.
9 is the best. Don't at me. That's probably an unpopular opinion. Oh, and really unpopular opinion? I mean, it's not an FGC game, but FGC talks about Final Fantasy all the time. 8 is a fantastic game. Okay. And it's better than 7.
Okay.
That's super unpopular. And people are going to kill me for it. They'll be like, KP, I used to rock with you, but now you're just talking crazy. But yeah, 9, 8, 7. Anyway.
Well, I think we just found your FGC unpopular opinion.
Oh, yes.
Even though it has nothing to do with the FGC, the FGC is going to be upset.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. K-Brad never going to talk to me again. KP, how dare you disrespect 7, man. I thought we was good. Listen, man, 9, 8, 7. Anyway, Final Fantasy 9. Lost Odyssey, actually. It's one of my favorite RPGs. It was a Xbox 360 exclusive. Went back to like the turn-based style of, the old Final Fantasy. Fantastic. Tales of Vesperia. Absolutely loved it. I did not buy the remaster because I know I'm never going to play it because my backlog is amazingly stupid. And yeah, I'll just leave those 3 for now.
Okay. What else are you into outside of gaming?
So I love battle rap actually. I don't do it myself, but every time I'm not looking at fighting game stuff or watching an episode of Black Mirror or Game of Thrones or anything like that, I'm like listening to battle rap. It's an environment where aside from today's society of everything offending everyone and not necessarily freedom of speech. I mean, you have it, but
no, I understand.
Yeah, people will get that.
I understand. It's
battle rap,
social media.
And I grew up on rap music, but now everybody's mumbling and everything's just popular trying to do that. Battle rap is just all lyricism, and it gets raw down there. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. Like they say some foul things, but we're like I'm not taking that at face value. I just love the creativity, the bars, because everything in life has been said, But how do you take it and remember these entire 3-minute rounds, 3 rounds, and use that material only once for that opponent? Like it's so crazy, and there's so many talented people down there. Like I just love it. Like it's gritty, it's raw, it's everything that general society would hate. And I don't know. I have an affinity for the talent that it takes to put these words together and the performance and again, and I grew up in these environments, so all the things they talk about are not foreign to me, and that's what I do. Like I just love consuming that media.
That's awesome. I heard Yipes is big into
another
that.
one. He's into it too. Oh yeah, we've talked about it many events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to ask him about it for sure. Do you watch anime?
I don't actually.
Okay, we won't do that question then.
Yeah, I don't knock it though. I just didn't. I never really got into it.
That's fine. No, it's all good. It's all good. Because I don't want to get into Game of Thrones because I'll just end up getting upset.
Love that show.
That's why I just like.
I know.
But it is what it is. Season 8. Woohoo. All right. Final. Where will people see you next?
Well, after Combo Breaker is CEO. It's like what I call like the Triple Crown. Combo Breaker CEO Evo. Just bang, bang, bang. This is like the bam. It's like the road to WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? This is bang, 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 back to back.
Yeah.
So
And Defend the North is in Manhattan this year, guys.
I think I'll actually, well, depending on when it is, because I know it's in mid-July. and I may be going out to Vienna, Austria for Veganality. It's another stop on the Pro Tour. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I would like to make Defender North. I haven't made it before, but they told me.
It's a big deal, that is. Yeah, that's
so,
a big deal.
But 100%, you will see me next as CEO. I'm Florida boys until like my dying day, so I would never miss CEO. That's where I'll be. And if you are interested in winning a trip to Evo, you can also check out the Bamboo battles with Panda Global. We're running online series for 5 games. Mortal Kombat, Dragon Ball Fighters, Street Fighter. Wait, are we doing Street Fighter? I don't think so. Tekken 7, Cross Tag. I'm sure I'm forgetting something because I'm a terrible person. But just look at any of our tweets or online events where we'll have qualifiers, and the winner is going to get to be honorary PG at Evo alongside us and represent. So check those out as well. That'll be before CEO and MK11. I think I'm doing June 6th, June 7th, and June 12th. And if I have those terribly wrong, it's all good. Y'all can just follow me on Twitter or follow the Panda Global account, and all that information is there.
Okay. What's your Twitter? Actually, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, everything the same at Kitana. That's Kitana, like the Mortal Kombat character.
I'll put the links down below.
Not the sword, you know, because people say Katana because the Kitana sword. Anyway, Kitana_Prime everywhere. That's where you find me.
Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure. Put it there, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was a long old one, but I think it was a lot of fun. We moved pretty quickly as well. Yeah, amazing how time flies. And yeah, we'll just say goodbye to these guys. So, see you guys. Hey guys, little outro from me. If you enjoyed the interview or any content that I do, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it at all. YouTube is abysmal right now, particularly in the FGC for making any type of ad revenue. So I do actually need direct support from you guys, direct financial support. Again, no sugarcoating, guys. This is it. Last chance saloon for me. So you can support me via Patreon in the link below, or you can come to my stream. You can support me via Twitch subs or donations. Again, links below. I stream pretty regularly. Big thank you to my patrons that are on screen right now. The trend is going up. More and more people are joining. I will verbally shout out Domingo, Steven Sense, Terrence Harris, and Alan Kabada for being my top 4 patrons. But all of you are making a difference. You have no idea. And like I said, the trend is only going up. So that's really looking good at the moment. Twitch subs and donations. You guys get shout outs on stream, of course. Now, this is all part of a 6-week experiment. If you haven't already watched the video will be at the end of this video. You can click on it. Interviews, streaming, and comedy skits are what I do, along with other stuff. But let me know in your comments what you are supporting. That's really important to me to understand what it is that you are supporting. And maybe it's all 3, I don't know. Patreon's a bit of a mess right now. I will sort it out, and I may make some tiers and allow people to have more influence on my work, or at least talk to me about it, stuff like that, depending on what tier you're in. In the meantime, come to the Discord. There's a whole section where you can give me suggestions, thoughts, feedback. You know, who do you want to see interviewed, stuff like that. This may or may not be the end of my FGC content creation. Either way, it's fine. I just don't want to be in limbo. I think you guys can probably understand that, right? And so we'll see what happens. And that's it. Peace out, guys. Love you lots.